Hey people, welcome back to Higurashi. Um, what happened last time? Kind of forgot. I'm kind of recording this last minute, like the day of. I need to upload it in the morning. um, right. We went to school. Kind of openly started talking about how the mayor disappeared and how nobody knows who did it. And we're assuming. I mean, I kind of gave the Sonozakis the benefit that they also didn't know, but they could be lying and just covering it up as a sacrifice. Like maybe specifically even like what if it was like Neon doing the sacrifices without the permission so that Keiichi doesn't have to die. Or actually it just could be the Sonozaki family to also protect Shion, right? Because of course they wouldn't want their daughter to be punished, I assume. Um, we also got that cute scene with Satoko and Rana during lunch. That was fun. That was a good fun scene with the pumpkins. Oh god. And we got Rika. Oh yeah, Rika's thing was really big. Definitely makes you have to look at Rika in a different light. Cause I always had the idea that she knew something was going on, but she wasn't involved. But the way she was talking makes it does seem like she probably has some involvement. Like if I just had to guess, since she's the idol, maybe she like watches or like does something before they do one of the rituals. Maybe I'm not too sure, but yeah. So Rita promised Keiichi to protect him. Hopefully that'll help. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think. While they do respect Rita, maybe they won't listen to her. I don't think anything bad will happen to her since she's like Oyashiro-sama's chosen or whatever. But yeah, so this is just after school, and Keiichi's back home at night. After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed into the futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by gloomy thoughts. I told Rita-chan anything and everything. She had seemed trustworthy at the time, but had that really been the right choice? The more I looked back on it, the less I understood what Rita-chan was saying. Not only did she know about Takano-san and Tomotaki-san's deaths, but she spoke of them as if she were a concerned party. Yeah, I think especially Tomotaki was doing a lot more bad than we know about. And then I'm still unsure about Takano. I think she just might be really obsessed, but the fact that she was with Tomotaki might make her like an involved party deserving of, well, obviously not deserving of death, but deserving of death to the Hinamizawans. Or she could be helping Tomotaki if it helps give her information for her research or whatever. Might be a win-win situation for both of them, helping each other. Which obviously didn't end up winning because they both died, but you know. After all this time in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. Had I been lured in by Rita-chan's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? I mean, it seems she already knew. I think a lot of people already know about it. Or maybe not, but people have a general idea, at least, about what you did, Keiichi. I should have continued to feign ignorance. Plus, literally everyone can read this guy's mind. I don't know how. Is he really that bad with facial expressions? But we literally saw this at like the beginning of this volume. Just he cannot keep a secret at all. So there's no point of hiding anything. And it's not even like a guess. They like literally read exactly what he's thinking. It's creepy and I guess it makes it hard for Keiichi to lie. I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it colored the darkness of the night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly a knock. It's your dad or mom, probably mom. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was.
圭一、
Oh, it's Dad. Damn. Missed the coin toss.
さっきから呼んでるぞ。電話だ。
Sonozaki?
園崎さんから。
Cool. What if it's Mion this time? He's not expected to be Shion, but it's actually Mion, because she did disappear. Yeah, like, Rita and Mion disappeared at lunch. And we didn't actually get to see Mion, huh? But we did see Rita, like, dirty. Maybe she got in a fight with Mion and Mion, like, pushed her down. I thought she... Yeah, that was weird. Like, she was crying, so maybe she was upset, but, like, didn't they say, like, she was also kind of dirty? Unless she was, like, so upset she fell to the ground. Which could be something, right? But that's interesting. I kind of forgot about Mion, honestly. That might just be Shion. That could be possible, too. Though I guess I wouldn't deny what I just said anyways. I reached out for the cordless phone through the gap in my door.
園崎さんってどっち？姉？妹？
そんなのは知らん。
Just ask.
自分で出て聞きなさい。
I took the receiver and buried myself in my futon again.
もしもし。ミオンか？シオンか？
私です。
Hi, Shion. Maybe. We know they can actually mask their voices via phone call, which is gonna be something I have to look when I write my theory sheet. Because we know Mion has been confirmed pretending to be Shion, like dressing and pretending. Like it's actually like 99% confirmed, actually like 100% confirmed. Mainly because Mion was the one who was, or the time where Shion was like talking about how heroically Hinamizawa and the other neighboring villages fought off the dam project, and then when Keiichi told Shion later, Shion said that, oh, that must have been Mion talking. So it's confirmed that they do that, and they can adjust their voices to each other, or at least Mion can copy Shion. I don't think we've seen Shion copying Mion. At least there's no evidence so far. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, yeah, it could be Mion.
シオンです。こんばんは。
I practically jumped out of bed. It was Shion, who I hoped so desperately would call me back last night.
シオン。ゆうべはすまなかった。
Damn. I wish Keiichi would have played it like... Actually, no, he could still play it. Good. I heard what sounded like a deep sigh on the other end.
俺もシオンも同じ立場なんだよな。一方的に責めるような言い方をして悪かった。
Seems like Keiichi probably doesn't even have the idea that it might be and the other sister.
もうしない。謝るから機嫌を直してくれ。
機嫌を直したから電話したんです。後悔したなら許してあげますから、もう謝るのをやめてください。
Shion's tone still sounded a little angry, but for the moment she said she'd forgive me.
ケイちゃんの言うように、私たちは運命共同体なんです。互いの無事の確認が自分たちの安全の唯一の保証なんです。
ああ、それについては同感だ。
だから私たちは互いの知っている情報を共有する必要があります。
I hate this though. Like we should probably believe it's Shion, but just a part of me thinks if it's Mion, this is so bad. Like if it was Mion last time, Keiichi basically admitted that to her too,
高
right?
野さんたちみたいな死に方をしないために。
But I'm leaning more to it being Shion for now, at least for this conversation, and maybe the last one too. Just something we should look out for, or even have to look back and see if there was ever that kind. I guess there had to be if there had to be at least one if Mion dressed as Shion when they met once, right? Gulp. I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of saliva.
では、
Yeah.
昨日の続きを話します。もう怒らないで聞いてくれますよね。
ああ、 大丈夫だ。
Okay, so at least this is the same person as last time.
まず私たちが思っている以上に最後殿に忍び込んだことは禁忌タブーだったみたいです。
Hatano-san and Tomodachi-san's miserable ends, terrible enough that you could call them a warning. They were more than enough to make me believe that.
犯人たちは最後殿を怪我した首謀格のあの二人を殺し、次に私たちを狙います。
Is that true though? One of those sacrifices
否定し
happened.
たいでしょうが、
Or someone disappeared.
これを認めてください。失踪して
Hope
から
Teichi
認め
brings
て
that up
も
about
う
the
遅いん
mayor.
ですよ。
分かってるって。用心に越したことはないからな。
私も本当は認めたくありません。
Maybe she
あ
doesn't
んな
know.
拷問道具の博覧
Since
会
she
に
lives
臨み
in
に来たことが
Okinawa.
あんな殺され方をする理由になるなんて絶対に信じたくない。
I mean, to be fair, if they do have this dangerous past where they used to torture people, I feel like sneaking into that is pretty horrible. Like a pretty bad idea. That's what a taboo is. For those who honor it, if one breaks the taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven.
互いに何か気になることがあったら報告し合いましょう。互いの持つ小さな断片を合わせていけば、ひょっとすると高野さんたちを殺した。
Sure,
いえ、
I like this.
今
I
年
feel
の事
like
件に限らない。
this is if Shion is earnestly helping us, she'll probably be more help than Uishi, honestly. Which is weird that I trust her more than the police officer.
過去の連続事件を解決する
But
鍵が見
let's
つ
see.
かるかも
Let's
し
see
れ
what
ません。
Teichi says and what Shion says. Probably more important, but I wonder what Teichi thinks is important to solving
So
this.
確かにそうだ。
All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already thought that far ahead. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed over how passive I was being. What
で
we
は
got? Okay.
まずは言い出した私からいきます。最近誰かに監視されているような気がします。
え？
と言っても気のせいかもしれません。でも一応報告します。今は気のせいだと思っていますけど、もしもケイちゃんも同じように誰かに監視されているように感じるなら、
That's a fast train, but I don't think so.
これは気のせいじゃないのかもしれませんから。
Or at least Teichi didn't seem to indicate it.
そういうことなら安心しろ。少なくとも俺の方は大丈夫だ。
I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was fine.
そうですか。では気のせいということにしますが、ケイちゃん
Don't
も
you have
注意
like
してください。
a bodyguard, Shion? Like, I feel like I don't know. It's so weird that the town would actually target Shion if Shion is literally like part of the big group of the town. Like who's targeting her? You feel like the Sonozakis would do all the dirty work, but like what villagers are gonna target her?
特に一人で表を歩くときは細心の注意を払ってください。私は沖宮ですから一人きりになることはそうそうありませんが、ケイちゃんはひなみ沢です。一人ぼっちになることも多いはずです。
We're right in the heart of things.
特に注意してください。
そうだな。ああ、気をつけるよ。
Just get a baseball bat.
それからお姉なんですが、何か変わった様子はありませんか？
I mean, we haven't seen her personally, but Rika also said to leave her alone because she's pissed off.
お姉ってミオンのことか。変わった様子ってどういうことだ？
先日私お姉に渡流しの夜の所在について問いただされました。
え？それは俺もだよ。一昨日からミオンに聞かれた。
やっぱりですか。私は言ってないと答えました。ケイちゃんは？
同じだよ。ごまかした。
Well, she didn't even directly ask. Oh. Yeah, whatever. Dodge. Both of us gave a quiet sigh of relief.
渡流しの晩以降、お姉の様子はおかしいです。
Maybe she finally snapped.
用心に越したことはありませんので。
I mean, she looked fine at school. Mion was acting strangely. I mean, I guess we just haven't seen it, really. Aside from her asking about the night of the Watanagashi, she hadn't seemed too out of the ordinary, yeah. At least from my point of view. Her twin sister, though, was saying she was acting weird. Maybe it was such a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice. To be fair, Teiji, you don't notice a lot of things, but yeah, I agree with that for this instance.
帰り道は必ずレナも一緒だから、二人きりになるってこともそうそうないしな。
Rena.
用心してください。気になることがあったら
That's
教
alright.
えてくださいね。
Rena hasn't gone spooky mode. For some reason, Rena hasn't done spooky mode in this chapter, but she seemed so much more sketchy in this chapter also. Or at least more self-aware than the last one. But I guess she's technically still our... I mean, I guess she's still our best hope, right? Who can be... If we can, I mean, yeah. I guess she's the most fit out of... I don't know. Most fit out of the club members that we can get on her side. Let's see what Teichi says. We should probably report about Rika, but that's about it. Oh, the mayor. I'm assuming she knows about it, but she might not since she lives in another town, right? Actually, she probably doesn't know about it. Say the mayor. My turn. That's right, maybe I should report on Uishi-san asking me the same question at the library. That's also good. I kind of forgot about that. How? Dude, dude, this... I don't know, bro. This can't be normal. Like, I was saying that maybe Teichi's facial expressions is just, so easy to read, but how the heck did she know what he was thinking over the phone? And I feel like this happened before. There has to be something. I'm trying to think of how that could possibly happen, though. Unless she can just deduce what Teichi's gonna say, but that's so stupid. No. What if it... No, I don't... What if there's a camera in Teichi's room? But, like, why would Shion have the camera? I feel like it would be Mion with the camera, if anything. But I guess that would... Like, maybe he does have really easy-to-read facial expressions and she just looked through the camera. But that's so sketchy. I hate that. That's just so ominous. Teichi, please bring that up. No, don't just say yeah. How? Bruh. Maybe no. I don't accept this. This is freaking weird. This is weird, Teichi. Do something about this.
かなり強い口調で聞かれたよ。あの晩、高野さんたちと一緒にいなかったか、シオンに会わなかったかって。大石さんは俺たちが4人一緒にいたところを見ていたようだった。
警察にしてみれば、高野さんたちが最後に会った人間ということになりますからね。
Dude, I'm still freaked out. I can't think of anything else. Unless it's like some supernatural stuff, but... What the heck?
私たちに興味を持つのは、あ
How
る
are
意
you
味
not
当
a
然でし
freaked
ょう
out
ね。
Teichi?
こっちもごまかしたけど、かえって興味を持たれたかもしれない。
There's no way I could have tricked that sly old fox Uishi-san. My troubled conscience... conscience? Countenance? What is that word? It's not conscience. Countenance? A person's face...
Countenance.
Countenance. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. How you bring that up. My troubled countenance would have only made him even more certain.
なあ、シオン。警察なら行っちゃってもいいんじゃないのか？むしろ俺たちの状況を思えば、警察を味方につけるのはプラスだと思うぞ。
I mean, why don't you just tell someone that's not Oishi in the police? Maybe that would help. Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, all I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it.
そういえば大石さんはミオンに何らかの嫌疑があるなんて言ってたような気がする。
Well, he called your whole family Yakuza. Apparently the one I read said syndicate, but somebody said that in another translation it was called Yakuza. So I mean that might not be good, but I don't think this. Oh, that could get the whole Sonozaki family in trouble. So probably not. It's not the right idea. And bring attention to the village, right? Keiichi's like definitely gonna die if that happens.
確かにそう言ってた。
昨日も話しました通り、園崎家はひなみ沢に強い影響力を持っています。
Yeah.
大石は一連の連続開始事件を園崎本家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行だと疑っていますから。
I can believe that.
園崎家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行。
To an extent, I can assume it's the cursing for the first one. The curse. I don't think the curse happened in this one yet. Please don't get angry like you did yesterday and just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset. Good boy.
ひなみ沢のダム闘争の時、リーダーシップを期待された神主があまりに日和見だったので、園崎本家が首謀閣になって決起したんです。
I mean, I guess if the people did kill the priest during the third case, I guess Rika wouldn't be like completely immune, but she is the last of her kind and she's just a kid, so I don't think they would hurt her if she did kind of rebel.
戦いの歴史についてはお姉から聞いてますよね。
Yep, see, this is further confirmation that Mion was dressing up as Shion during that meeting we had with her.
ああ、ひなみ沢全体で一丸となって戦ったんだろう。デモをしたり裁判に訴えたりテレビに出たり。
実際はもっともっと過激なこともたくさん行われたんです。園崎本家が水面下でさまざまな違法な抵抗活動を行ったと言われてます。
違法な抵抗活動？
例えば夜中に建設現場に忍び込み機材を盗んだり壊したり、建設重機のガソリンタンクに角砂糖を入れたりとか。
Illegal, but I would still put that under aggressive protesting. I don't know if Mion was the one who described it as that. I think it was Oishi, but I mean, it sounds like extreme protesting. It's not that unreasonable if your town's about to get flooded from a dam.
なんでそんなことを？
知らないんですか？
I actually don't know this either.
戦争中にフランスの地下組織なんかがやった
just
典
makes them
型的なゲリ
explode?
ラ活動ですよ。
Well,
砂糖を入れるとエンジンが焦げついて壊れちゃうんですよ。
that's pretty bad though, isn't it? It was destruction of property and nothing less.
建設現場への監視が強化されると、今度は工事の重要な立場にある人間への攻撃に変更されました。例えば工事を認可した役人たちにはさまざまな脅迫が行われました。
Hey.
それは県庁の役人だけでなく建設庁の偉い役人にまで及んだそうです。聞いた話では子供の誘拐までやったとか。
誘拐
That's not fat though,
建
right?
設庁のひなみ沢ダムを担当する偉い人の子供が神隠しにあったんですよ。
What? When? Oh, I guess it would be before the first murder since this is still during the protests.
で、ある日突然ひなみ沢のもっと上流の高津戸の山中で保護されまして。
Well, then he wasn't Onikaku sheet away. He was just taken and placed somewhere. Probably, no, I feel like Onikakushi means they're never seen again, right? He was probably, no, I can see that. Yakuza kidnapping them and probably ransoming him off. Why not?
犯行声明はなかったって言われてるんですけど、ダム工事を中止するようにとの
Oh,
脅
not
迫
even
があったので
ransom,
はないか
just
と
a
さ
message.
やかれています。他にも 枚挙にいとまがないほどの脅迫の話がありま
I
す。
didn't see that. But again, these are just not fact stuff, right? Just stories.
それは確かにちょっとやばいな。
Sort of bad.
そんな最中だったんで
It's
す
a
よ。
little bad.
第一の事件、現場監督のバラバラ殺人があったのは、園崎家が主犯格の男を買収したのではとささやかれてますが、何しろ今日も逃走中ですからね。
When she put it that way, the Sonozaki family definitely seems suspicious.
犯人も口封じで消したんじゃないかって大石は思ってるみたいです。
Are you sure she thinks this though? Actually, he probably does.
当然ですね。
I feel like it's pretty reasonable to have the theory that the Sonozakis, along with some, I don't think all villagers, but a good chunk of the villagers are probably following them. It's probably the best explanation you could have with the evidence at hand. I still kind of mix the curse theory for my final like thoughts about Onakakushi into it, but you don't even have to put that either. You can just like get rid of the curse thing and say everything was done according to them, and I mean it's solid, right?
身内である私ですら、園崎本家の暗躍があったのではないかと思ってるくらいですから。
But I really don't feel like it is the final answer, obviously, because this is still have 2 more volumes to go for at least theorizing stuff. So there's definitely a lot more factors, but I could easily see them as the main villain. And then I'm still looking out for more evidence of a secondary group, maybe outsiders from Hinamizawa, and even, but yeah. Anyways, let's just go.
それを俺に信じろってのか。ミオンの園崎本家がそんな悪いことをやってきたと信じろというのか。
Just stories,
ケ
bro.
イちゃんが信じなくても村人たちは信じてます。自分たちが綺麗な抵抗運動をする陰で園崎家が汚い抵抗運動をしてくれた。自分たちの矢面に立って戦ってくれたんだってみんな思ってます。
Guard dogs, right?
ちょっとしたダークヒーローとして崇められているんですよね。
Again, I don't hate them for doing that. Obviously, it's illegal and stuff, but then you're protecting like a bunch of villages from being destroyed.
私が知っているのは本当に一部だけだと思います。例えば誘拐なんかの特にヤバい話は当主のバッチャを含めほんの数人しか知らされてないと思います。園崎家は秘密主義ですから。
秘密主義か。
Sure you want to tell this? A family so unforthcoming that even Shion, who is related to them, doesn't know everything about them. The Sonozaki family. Unlike Shion, her older twin Mion was deeply involved with everything, and that was not a fun thought to entertain.
そういった違法な抵抗運動の中心として年少ながら活躍したのがお姉でした。
Really though? Like 12-year-old? How old is she? Like 16, 17? 11, 12-year-old leaving the front?
ミオンが
It's hard to
どういう
believe.
ことだよ。
うちのお父さんヤクザの大物ですから。
Well, then
年
Shion.
少のお姉でも若い柄の悪いのを何人も従えることができました。で、さまざまな嫌がらせや妨害をやってのけたんです。
あのミオンが。
今はなんだかのんびりした雰囲気だから想像もつかないでしょうが、
Yo.
器物破損から脅迫、暴行
Yo,
まで
if Mia finds out Shion's talking about this, I think that could be actually the snapping point. Might get a sister brawl coming up.
子供ですからすぐに釈放してもらえたみたいですけどね。お姉は自分の年齢が武器になることを知ってたみたいです。
It may have been indiscreet, but I couldn't help but chuckle dryly. She may have been young, but she was certainly still young. Like, I can believe this too, though. It's making it sound pretty insidious, huh? Even back then, she already been known for her craftiness.
笑い事じゃないです。真剣になってください。
あ、悪い。そんなつもりじゃ。
Shion had gotten pretty angry at me.
まあ、そんな不良娘だったお姉も、いつの間にかそのだけ本家の。
I really want to hear like Shion's side of the story, but you can't really like confront her about this and talk, or not Shion, Mion's side. Because I feel like while Shion's like doing all this talking, the fact that she's like not involved at all in anything that the Sonozakis do sound really like it doesn't sound right. And like my mind hasn't really been thinking about this since we're getting into like some deep stuff, but you know how I was always saying that I feel like Shion's a lot more sly and a lot more, I don't even know, bitchy. And it's kind of disappeared. Like I feel like I should still hold on to that she's possibly like a lot more manipulative than she's been like, or at least Kichi's being perceived about her for a while now. Yeah, I'm trying to put that back into my head because I've been suspicious. I've been leaning more towards her not being it. But we already know she has a clear dislike for her sister, like. And I remember Mion also claimed that Shion was the nasty one and she was a nicer one. Oh, what if it's literally the opposite and it's like Shion's the nuts head? Or does that not make sense? Because I still remember where I thought, actually I don't know. Never mind. Scrap that. Maybe I'll talk about it later. In the future.
大石がバラバラ殺人以降の事件を疑いたくなるのも、まあ無理ないことです。
For a few moments, I was dumbstruck at the tales of Mion's past. None of them matched the image I had of her. A younger Mion, dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the dam construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki main family, she was always right at the center of the vortex of strange incidents occurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I know? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion? I couldn't figure it out. I can't bring myself to accept these images of Mion I was hearing from another person. I agree, you shouldn't. You should at least look for more evidence.
話を戻します。お姉が注意に値する存在であることは理解してもらえたと思います。
That's fair.
注意してください。
You should be cautious around her, but don't like completely believe everything Shion's saying. Is what I would do, I guess. I didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something bad to me in a corner like that. I don't actually think Mion is. I mean, Mion, I guess, kind of assaulted Keiichi in the last one, so I kind of like bit back my words, but don't you think like Mion has a crush on Keiichi? That's why she was so insecure about Keiichi pretending she was treating her as a guy. Like, I don't think Mion would kill Keiichi, but I guess it could happen. Like, depends how loyal she is to her family versus her own feelings. And these aren't even confirmed feelings, these are just my assumptions. She did ask me pretty harshly about the night of the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said it in a mean way or anything.
わかった。気をつけるようにするよ。
私とお姉は血のつながった姉妹ですが、その崎家にあってはまるで格が違うんです。私とはとても遠い存在だということを。
You have a bodyguard that drives you in a limo.
お願いします。
The more Shion tells me about the Mion, the less I understand who Mion is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. Bro, just don't bring this up with Mion, or I feel like Shion's gonna get whacked. I don't know, not actually killed, but like roughed up. She jokes around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I'd realized I held such a view towards her, Shion was telling me to change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To doubt her. The idea was very sad and painful.
で、大石の件ですが、 ケイちゃんがいいと判断するなら必要な情報を与えてもいいと思います。
Okay, Shion, I don't like you anymore. Stop
やはり
it.
警察を味方につけるのは私
Just
たち
get a
に有利
different
に
police
働くと思い
officer.
ます。
This guy hates us. I do not trust
やっぱ
Uishi
り
at all.
シオンもそう思うか。
ただ今説明した通り園崎の人間はそもそも警察に睨まれているんです。特に大石は園崎家が丸ごと連続事件の黒幕だと決めてかかってますからね。それはもちろん私も含めてです。ですから私はあまり大石には関わりたくないんです。
I see. If Uishi-san had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be very happy with Shion either. At last I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for Uishi-san.
どうせバレてはいるんですが、
I mean, yeah,
一応
that's a good reason.
私の名前を伏せておいてください。それだけ守って
Fine,
く
I
れれば
guess we're gonna be
大
on
石には
Uishi's
何を
side
話しても
again.
問題ないと思います。
Kinda wanted to see what would happen if we didn't join his side.
わかった。伏せるようにするよ。
警察の捜査力は今の私たちにはとても心強い武器になると思います。大石が興味深い話をしたら私にも聞かせてくださいね。
ああ、もちろんだ。情報
I
は
can't
互いに
trust
交換し、
Uishi, bro.
研究し合おう。
I mean, he might share some real information, but I feel like he bullshits sometimes too. At least in
高野さんたちを
Onagashi.
殺したのは誰なのか。そして俺たちを狙うのは誰なのか。
You wanna talk about Rita or the mayor before you
それ
hang
が
up?
わかるまで
I feel
俺
like
たちは
he's
自
not
衛しな
going
くては
to.
ならない。
I don't know why he didn't bring up the mayor as disappeared, so maybe they both won't get sacrificed.
あとはありますか？
Oh, there we go.
大石に聞かれたこと以外は
Please bring the mayor up. I think that's more important than Rita,
身に起こっ
honestly.
たことはどんな些細なことでも教え
I
てく
feel
だ
like
さい。
he's trying to bring up Rita though, and not talk about the mayor. Aside from my discussion with the Uishi-san? Oh. Should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rita-chan? Rita-chan was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her, but what? Oh, that's right. When I was talking to her, I mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? I felt like Shion would get angry. Well, I guess we're technically even disobeying Rita since we're gonna investigate anyways, so yikes.
何もないんですか？
Talk about the mayor,
ケイちゃん、
please. I'd remained quiet for a little while, so I guess Shion would know about it, but I still think it's a good topic to bring up. So Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence.
と
As I struggled with what to say, Shion addressed me instead.
ないようでしたら私から聞きたいんですけど、
Okay.
私もついさっき聞いたんですが、君吉のおじいちゃんが
Thanks for bringing this
行
up.
方不明になったって本当ですか？
The old man Kimiyoshi? My dad told me that that was the name of the mayor.
村長さんのことか。なんだシオン、聞いてないのか。
何も知らないです。お父さんが電話でそう話してるのをまた盗み聞いただけですから。
Does the father not live in the main house in Hinamizawa? What? Wait, who's the leader? The leader's the grandma. Oh yeah, I did think that there might be a female. Maybe it's a female tradition. You still think it would be in the main house though. Oh wait, oh. No, because unless she heard like her father talking to, unless someone else was from her house was calling her father and she heard the father from the phone call. That's weird. I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here in Hinamizawa, the things that happened around this time, when Oyashiro-sama's curse would recur, would all be covered up.
ああ、実はな、昨べ会合の後、家に帰ってこないとかで、ひなみ沢中で大騒ぎになったんだ。村中で探したみたいだけど、まだ見つかったって話は聞かないな。警察も探してるはずなんだけど。
なんでそんな大事な話を先にしてくれなかったんですか？
I don't know. I mean, I said we should, but I didn't know it was that important. That actually kind of spooked me, that loud noise. She shouted angrily at me, bringing all her emotions to bear.
悪い。もう知ってると思ってたんだよ。隠す気なんかなかった。
The receiver went silent. Did Shion get mad at him and hang up?
おいシオン、もしもし。
ケイちゃん、私どうしよう。
Did Shion tell the mayor to help her? That would be a yikes if that's why he disappeared. Shion's tiny, confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago.
どうした？話せよ。俺たちの間で隠し事はなしだろ。
Shion hesitated for a long while, but then she
ご
confessed.
めん、隠すつもりはなかったんです。ちょっと言うのが前後したっていうか。
俺たちは仲間だろ。怒ったりしないから正直に話せよ。
Shion still hesitated for a few moments. Then in a resigned voice she continued.
君吉のおじいちゃん
Why?
打ち明けたんです。
No, this development. Because I was always under the impression that the village did not do anything to Kimiyoshi. Because the Sonozakis were looking for him, but now this makes it more alive. But what the heck? Oh, I don't know how to do this. Also, would they really kill Kimiyoshi for just listening to what unless he was trying to argue to protect them? Oh, this is important, but I don't know how to process it right. Shion seemed to think I would yell at her after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing I had when I confessed everything to Rika. So, in as gentle as a voice I could, so as not to set her off, I responded.
君吉のじいさんってのはシオンにとって相談できる。
はい。私のことを小さい頃から本当に可愛がってくれて。
Same with Mion, right? Shion felt the same pain as the rest of us from the mayor's disappearance. She had a different kind of strength from Mion, and as she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained.
私、いつも意地悪なことをしてたのに、いつもニコニコと笑って、私の言うことは何でも聞いてくれて、本当に優しい人だったのに。
落ち着けよシオン。別に死んでしまったわけじゃないだろ。そんな簡単に諦めるなよ。
She's gonna yell? No, Shion didn't answer. Even as I said it myself, I didn't think we'd ever find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing.
村長さんに。
Dude, remember when I thought the mayor, the Kimiyoshi guy, since we didn't know he was the mayor, we just knew he was like a figure, was the like first escaped murderer from the first, like from the dam murder a long time ago. I don't think that anymore, but that was funny. If thinking about it now.
私、あの晩、
Why
最後
though?
に忍び込んだこと、打ち明けたんです。誰かにそれを見られてて、私たちを狙っている人がいるって。
How? Wait, when? What? What? At the same night we did it? That night, I told the mayor that we snuck into the ritual storehouse also so that someone saw us and was out to get us. What's the last part? How? Does he mean... Maybe he meant... No. It's probably oh no, I'm dumb. I thought she was saying that as... like the party they had after the Watanagashi, but she's probably talking about yesterday night? Yeah, after the deaths of Takano and Tomodachi. Okay, that was just me being dumb.
村長さんは高野さんたちがまともじゃない死に方をしたのを知ってるのか？
That's fine.
知っていました。あの二人がお社様のたたりで死んだから、私はその怒りを鎮める生贄にされるんじゃないかって本当に率直に言いました。
ああ、 それで
君吉のおじいちゃん怒らなかった。そしてにっこり笑って、シオンちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら鬼隠しになんかなるものかって。
Yo, should we like back up Rita? Because this is, she basically did the same thing as we did to Rita, so hopefully Rita doesn't get in trouble. Now I'm kind of worried.
本当に笑いながら任せなさい。
Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine of what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. If someone who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, then I could guess what kind of a shock Mion was in. Shion.
私が打ち明けてしまったから。
Maybe? I mean, I guess I have to lean towards that he was taken care of by the village now. But at the same time, I don't like that. Maybe he was taking care of the village, but Mion wasn't a part of it. It also feels like Mion really respected the mayor also.
よせよシオン。シオンのせいじゃないよ。
私のせいなんです。私が打ち明けてしまったから。
I mean, it is her fault, but
君吉のおじいちゃんが撃ってしまったから。だから殺されてしまったに違いないんです。だって打ち明けてすぐなんですよ。
I mean, it still could be a different party that kidnapped him, though I don't have the reasons why.
打ち明けて大丈夫って言ってくれたその晩に消えてしまった。
He found out, so he became involved.
話すんじゃなかった。これは全部私たち4人の咎だったはず。他人に話してはいけないことだったんです。
They're really hammering it in that we probably just doomed Rita, right?
話したから殺されてしまった。
No, Rita, you're too good for this.
だから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
おい待てよ。そんな奴なら打ち明けた村長を殺す前にお前から先に殺すに決まってるじゃないか。順番が違うよ。
Yeah, what's the hold up?
殺されるなら俺がシオンが先。他の奴らが先に死んだりするものか。
順番はあります。私たちを一番最後に殺すつもりに違いないんです。
は？なんだって？
人思いに殺さないで親しい人たちから順々に殺していって散々悲しい思いをさせた後に殺す、そういう狙いに違いないんです。
That's a really big assumption.
落ち着けって。シオンは今ショックを受けてパニックを起こして
Dude,
る
you're
だけ
like
なんだよ。
Keiichi from the first one. Dude, Keiichi being calm and collected. Who would have thought?
村長の失踪はシオンとは関係ない。無関係だ。高野さんたちの死とも全く関係ないんだ。
My words came out as a scream, as if I were shouting them at myself.
関係あります。絶対にそうなんです。私が話したから殺されてしまった。だから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
Like I said, I feel like Shion's pretty good at screaming too. Voice actor, I don't know, dude. Whenever voice actors, at least in this visual novel, scream, they really do a good job at it so far. She repeated the same thing as before, as though she were in a delirium. Also, you should probably like keep it down. Shion, especially. Despite my trying to console the crazed Shion, for some reason, the shadow at my feet began to freeze. From that shadow, a cold arm reached out. So cold it seemed like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me, and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated by my body, the arm was absorbing it. It was a horrible chill. A freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was an inviolable chill of fear. Though I sympathized with Shion, I had been naive in thinking it was only something she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie reports repeated again and again. Yikes. I know, right? If Rita dies, I'm gonna be pretty upset. I skipped something. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything, so he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra, and finally those even repetitions took on meaning. The quiet shaking that had already overtaken me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine. Rika.
リカちゃんだ
What?
今なんて言ったんですか？
俺も実は打ち明けたんだリカちゃんに今日
At least you realized it.
リカちゃんってリカちゃまのことですか？フルデ神社のリカちゃま？
そうだよリカちゃんだよ
Why is her voice so composed now? Dude, I don't trust Shion. I'm sorry. This conversation is not making me trust Shion at
打ち明
all.
けたんだリカちゃんに
No, what if this...
そうしたらリカちゃまはなんて？
Why is she so... The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said, and then she smiled. She smiled just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion.
ごめんシオン俺ちょっとリカちゃんのことが心配になっちゃって
はい、そんなに心配でしたらぜひ電話を安否を確認してみてください。
ああそうさせてもらう
また明日もこのくらいの時間に連絡します。それをもって私の安否確認としてください。
わかった待ってるじゃあなすまん切るぞ
I put down the receiver without waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad.
くそ無事でいてくれ
Does she even have a phone at the shrine?
リカちゃん
Or are we gonna run to see her? Or are we gonna chapter end because it's been an hour? Let's chapter end. Or chapter break. I think when they show the title, yeah, it's an end. Last scrapbook, and their punishment isn't over. Let's see what's happening. What do you have us for today, Takano? The three families in modern times. She did briefly talk about this in the other one, but let's see. As previously described, the Three Families Council today is a mere shell of democracy. In reality, it's a dictatorship run by the Sonozaki family. Both the Kimiyoshi and Furude families are far from their former glory, and it doesn't seem like at all like they've maintained the ancient traditions. Only the Sonozaki family has retained their glory from the past and has inherited many colorful traditions from the age known as Onigafuchi village. Even the most recent verifiable examples of Watanagashi that occurred at the end of the Meiji era seems to have been done under the orders of the Sonozaki family. Refer to the three families' genealogical tree from the late Meiji. After the start of the Meiji era, the Sonozaki family wanted to push the development of the Hinamizawa village, so they took a strong role in leadership. During the Dam Wars a few years ago, the Kimiyoshi family served as the chair of the opposition alliance, but this was in name only. In actuality, the Sonozaki family reigned as leaders behind the scene. Okay, that's good to know since you do remember Kimiyoshi being the boss of that. People whisper that perhaps the Kimiyoshi family dictated acts of opposition that could be publicized, and the Sonozaki family enacted those which could not. Even in Hinamizawa, they would whisper the multitude of unsettling incidents reported during the dam protests, such as the kidnapping of the famous head of Ministry of Construction's sons had been carried out by the Sonozakis. So I guess that kind of soft confirms the kidnapping happened. Additionally, they say that perhaps the Sonozaki family's secret maneuvering was responsible for the serial freak death incidents that have continuously occurred in recent years as well. The serial freak death incidents are, without a doubt, the second coming of the traditional Watanagashi. They must be enacting the Watanagashi on the day of the original Watanagashi, which has fallen to the level of an ordinary village festival, in order to remind the villagers of the holy laws of the Anidafushi village. It's safe to assert that exploring the Sonozaki family is the fastest route for researching it today. If I can expose the contents of the Fruit Shine storehouse, I'd like to narrow my research target to the Sonozaki family next. The Sonozaki house is strictly guarded by security cameras on the premise, but thankfully I've become acquainted with the sisters Mion, the Natsir, and Shion. Okay. Confirm Mion is the hair. I want this to be a breakthrough I can connect to my next line of research. I mean, yeah, just taking everything we know it does so pointing to the Sonozaki family as the killers are the most, I guess, fact-based thing we can do so far. Not that I think it's completely true. Also, I guess it is kind of a stretch to say that the murders are modern-day Watanagashi, since they don't actually really resemble the Watanagashi from the old tradition. Like, there's no extreme dismemberment, there's no missing body parts to be consumed. So I don't really buy that, or that they're doing it to withhold the laws of Hinamizawa. It seems a lot more of a stretch than anything. But I don't know. I guess that could also be a reason why they killed, because they started, maybe the reason Takano died is different than the normal Watanagashi thing. Maybe she was actually trying to get close to the Sonozakis and they just took care of her, instead of, like, whatever is the Watanagashi murder's motive is, or whatever. That could be a separate issue, maybe. And then the conditions would actually be fulfilled, kind of, if Tomotaki was the person who died for the Watanagashi murder and the sacrifice was done to Kimiyoshi, while Takano was a separate incident, maybe? Anyways, one more hint. One more hint.
いえいえ、気にしないでくださいよ。この店でおでんを食べるとですね、なぜか年系のガソリンスタンドの請求書に化けちゃうんですよ。だから遠慮しないでもう一杯飲んでいけばいいのに。
The man, red-faced, waved his hand to say that he had enough and disappeared into the brilliant neon lights in front of the station.
クマちゃんも勉強しといてくださいよ。謙虚な人が結局一番長生きするんです。
さっきの話、本当っすかね。
さて、それはわからないですけどね。真偽はともかく、そういう話がまことしやかに流れてるってことには意味があると思いますよ。
That's a nice
そんな
line.
のが村長を狙う動機になりうるんすか。
クマちゃん、いつも言ってるでしょ。動機っていうのは、その本
Yeah,
人
motives
十
are
分
always
でありさえすれば足りるんで
the
す。
weirdest thing to do, because a motive can be like as simple as I wanted to do it, like I killed that person because I wanted to. That's still a motive, right? It can go from like super simple to like super complex, so it's always hard to find out motives. That's why I usually like, you shouldn't really judge try to like create a theory with a solid motive in mind. It should come kind of like a last thing to do after you like assemble all the facts, in my opinion.
価値観の違いをよく考えなくちゃ。あ、お母さん、もう一杯ください。
Good advice, Suishi. Though we have been suppressing information, Tomotaki and Takano-san's deaths were already known throughout Hinamizawa. All of the rumors pointed to them having occurred the wrath of Oyashiro-sama for setting foot in the Forbidden Temple, their storehouse for ritual implements. According to the rumors, there are 2 other people who went in there with them. Shion Sonozaki and Keiichi Maibara. So this is a widespread rumor that like literally everybody knows. Like, how did that happen though? People were whispering in the shadows that those 2 would be cursed by Oyashiro-sama as well. Apparently, however, the responsibility didn't fall solely on the 4 trespassers' shoulders. Until last year, it was locked up tight, but this year it had been changed to a simpler lock. Hadn't that been what allowed thieves to enter so easily? True. Those were the rumors going around. What, you're gonna punish the fruit? Okay, so Uishi's been there.
すみません。ちょっと思い出せないっす。
そりゃもうおっかないくらいに厳重に施錠してありましてね。まるで大金庫みたいに厳重に。
Yeah, why did they not keep the heavy locks on? This here is a very simple and cheap padlock. The lone girl protecting the shrine, Rika Furude, disliked the heavy locks and consulted with the mayor, who had replaced it with a simpler padlock.
だから村長とフルデリカも同罪ってことなんですか。
Yo, stop saying that. So she would have been targeted if we go by this logic, which actually isn't that bad. I kind of like it, assuming that the Sonozakis actually hit the mayor, or the villagers hit the mayor, despite pretending to look for him. That means Rita would have been targeted even without Keiichi confronting her, which I guess is kind of. I mean, it's still bad that she dies, but at least it is completely Keiichi's fault, right?
その可能性は大ですね。クマちゃん。
I'm gonna do something about it, Uishi.
巡回している覆面者に至急連絡。
My boy Uishi doing
こ
something
れで神社近辺に
decent.
張り付かせてください。
了解っす。
Thanks, Uishi. Though it is already night. It might be too late. Alright, looks like we hit the end. This was a pretty interesting episode, or chapter. I feel like I distrust Shion more than I did before this though, even though I don't think she did too much bad, but it's just something's tickling me the wrong way about her. The ways that she's completely like separating herself from the family, it feels unnatural almost. But yeah, hopefully Rita doesn't die. I mean, I did think in one part even Rita, or like somewhere along the line in one of the volumes, Rita and or Satoko would eventually die, which would make me kind of sad, but hopefully she just disappears, and hopefully it's not too bad. If that does happen, Uishi might come in clutch, but it's Uishi. I guess I kind of should. I've been really hard on Uishi, but I do think maybe I should look at it more like maybe he's actually trying to solve the crime. He's just kind of stummy, instead of he's not really trying to solve the crime. Which is kind of like what I was thinking before, that he wasn't actually trying to solve the crime. He was he had like another objective, which I feel like is a fair assumption to make from Ani Tatsushi, but for now I should kind of look at it more at a positive light. Also, I still have that in my mind, the fact that Shion could somehow predict what Keiichi was gonna say over the phone. I hate that. There has to be something. They're gonna reveal something weird's going on with Keiichi, bro. How do they always know? It had to be cameras. The only other possibility that I kind of thought of but didn't mention, since we're kind of like far away from it, is like, which doesn't actually make sense, but what if there is like a script? Because they did talk about a manager at the end of the first one, so they're all like following a script, and Keiichi's like unknowingly followed it because maybe it's based around him, so that's how they're reading his like next lines. I don't know how that would work. It sounds pretty far out there, but that's like literally the only like kind of possible thing that I thought. But yeah, this was a good chapter. Hope you enjoyed. Next time, hopefully Rita's safe, and if she is safe, we'll create the Rita Defense Squad with Teiji and Shion and random police officers. But I do think she's probably not going to be safe. So, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll upload this on time since I'm pretty late, but yeah. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.